Sunday and welcome to your 36 card reading, and let's get started.
Hello and good morning, everyone. So let's take a look at this week. Our 36 card reading. We are starting off here with the Chariot. Okay, so what that tells me is that you're going to start off the week feeling really energized, that you're on track, you have a goal, you're moving forward, taking charge and separating dark from light. Okay, it's like coming out of a ride here where you've been making some decisions. You know exactly where you're heading right now, so you're feeling quite successful, at ease, in charge, and feeling quite happy about it. Secondly, we got the Three of Cups, which, and this is in the area of you and your personality, okay? It's the first placement of the 12 placements we're going to go through. So this has everything to do with you. And by taking charge with the Chariot, here you are also feeling like there's a sense of celebration. You're happy this week, starting off, right? And feeling that things are really, really good. And then we have the High Priestess. So, you know, that shows listen to your intuition this week. There is now things opening up. You can see she's holding the scroll. So there's information coming your way. It could be research that you're doing, or there could also be new chapters that are opening up for you in your life that you can feel really, really blessed with. So a very intuitive week. It's a celebration type week where you're feeling you're starting it off by moving ahead with a lot of confidence. So let's now check where your financial situation is going to go for the week. Let me just test and see the sound is up there. Good. So financially this week, well, this is pretty nice too. Something is coming. Something's being revealed. You get the Judgment. That's things coming up to the surface, as you can see, and you're going, yes, now. You know what? That could be some of you receiving your stimulus check, perhaps, that finally arrived. But since it's in your area of income, it could also even mean that there's something else coming to you. Maybe a raise, or maybe something else that could show up that not necessarily is connected to your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month income, but revelation. From that, there is also here the news that you're going to be getting. So that could come through the mail, it can come through the phone, it can come through direct contact, and this is allowing you now to feel that you're that much more happier and at bliss. It's like finally it's coming together for you, right? Maybe it's the promotion that you've been looking for, or maybe it could even be if you've been out on a job hunt, search, whatnot, then finally that is coming to the surface. Okay, so good week pretty much for all of you financially, and we're going to see where it's going to go now with communication. This communication is you out and about in your closer territory. Maybe you're antsy and want to get out and about for maybe a little road trip, just to get out of the house, especially for those of you who are still in a lockdown, right? Can't really go anywhere. We can't really travel much. And if we can't get out and about in a physical way, well, definitely there is the mental way. You know, the swords always represents our thoughts, right? So some of you might be having an internal journey, thinking about where you've been, but also where you're heading, because you want to look at that shoreline in the distance, because that is where you are journeying. Now, the third house in our Astro Tarot reading, you know, we're spreading this out in a wheel, like the astrological chart, right? So we're going through all the different houses, and this third house placement is about communication and with your neighbors, you know, your closer community, siblings, and so forth. So you might have more communication with those who live a little bit at distance from you and interacting in that way. Then we have Ace of Cups also. So since it's the area of communication, well, there should be good news. Look at that. New beginning. We love, love, love when However, we can get the Ace of Cups. Why? Well, because it's joyful, it's heartfelt, it's the heart chakra, it's new beginnings of something that is now emotionally close to heart and for you. So good news coming this week, and it could be you having good news that you're going to be sharing. And what it is allowing you to do, whatever the good news is allowing you to walk away from a path that has been taking somewhat of a toll on you. All right. But you've concluded the journey. You know, all your cups are full. You can now turn your back to it and head towards new goals, new challenges. So, yes, good news is going to set you free. So expect that here for this week. Then we're looking at the home and family area and news for home and family. Well, some of you, I feel, have been waiting, downloading thoughts, figuring out where do I go from here to expand into this, right? So it's like, yeah, I could see you've been patient, you've been meditating, downloading these thoughts, maybe very visual thoughts too, as you're meditating or in your dream state. And as you've been waiting, kind of cocooning, because this is at the home base in this reading, look at this. You get the Wheel of Fortune. And, you know, it's wonderful because in that sense, you're anticipating, hoping, praying, because you're also praying here, right? For good things to come. Let that wheel turn and bring you something now that you can celebrate. And you know what? It's coming to you, excuse me, in the form of news. So you can get a telephone call. You might be getting a text. But whatever you're going to be hearing now this week that has to do with your own foundation, well, it comes as something that you have been hoping and praying for. And remember, what can this text maybe be about? Remember what we were just talking about, the good news, right? In the area of communication. So this is pretty much what is coming for you. And it's going to allow you to really start, excuse me, allergies today, but really start looking at those things that you want to build, right? The things that you really want to now take out energetically. We're looking at the area of romance this week. So your romantic area, we're not saying the 7th house because that's more long-term autofocus. Let's see here. There we go. This is the 5th house of joy and happiness and the romantic area, but it's also about children. It's about self-expression. We want to look at what does this mean for you? Well, some of you might be going through a breakup, or you might be hearing about somebody else maybe now going through a breakup or a separation. But this news, don't let it scare you though. I'm thinking that this couple, whoever it is, has been going through the works for some time. Look at that. I think they've been on the verge, maybe, 2 to 3 times. And the same issues keep coming up again and again. And so what I do see for this couple that you'll be hearing about, if it isn't you, and it could be you too, stick to your dreams, because I'm seeing what essentially is important to you is the things that you want to achieve. And you're so talented, you're so skilled, you're so creative. And in the area of romance, well, you have dreams here, lofty dreams that you might not have been feeling in this phase, however long this has lasted, whether, 3 to 5 months or the last 3 to 5 years. It's like, no, have you in all reality been able to obtain and reach those goals that that you have and what you want to give? So, at least news of it around you from somebody somewhere. Now, your day-to-day schedule this week. Well, you're starting off here with, I feel, a new framework on your routine. Kind of looking at what is essential. What do I really need? What do I want to hang on to? What is the framework of what I'm trying to establish? Our day-to-day routine is so important in so many ways. And we've talked about that in the past too. What kind of comes in as time stealers? What's stealing your time so you can't really embrace the other things that you really want, right? And we were just seeing how you're wanting to really reach for your hopes and dreams, your creativity, and your self expression. So if you set your routine up in a way that really works for you, well, then you should be able to tap into what you've been wanting to do for a long time. You can see temperance. That's you having been patient, right? You've been trying to nurture your emotional self. See, she's got one foot in the water. That's always our emotions. And tempering it with what has been important, needing to be doing your daily routine, more in the physical realm, the material realm. So you've been going through a phase of patience, but it is really going to allow you now to spend more time, should I say, in the area of romance. Okay, open up a little bit more time to dedicate to this. And if we're just kind of tapping into what we just saw, well, it is you really now feeling that this is a time to move forward, to interact with, and to be with that person that you love. And for those of you who are single, well, this could be a great time, maybe somehow, to meet somebody that can be a part of your new day-to-day routine. So we're not really out and about a whole lot here under COVID, but there's still ways of meeting people if you are single. But this is what you've been wanting and being patient for, is to have that romance and that love in your life. Which brings us into the 7th house of long-term relationship, your significant other. For those of you who are in a marriage or in a relationship, those of you who are single, well, you'll be focusing on this as well. So all these are thoughts, motivational thoughts, trying to head somewhere, heading to do what? Well, there is choices coming up. And you might feel that you are a little bit in a blind spot. It's like, do I hang a left? Do I hang a right? It's like you're not able to fully see where it is you're going. And what I always used to say, whenever there is doubt, hang in there. It's not a time to make any big action. You want to wait for clarity, right? Clarity can come to you as you are brainstorming and trying to problem solve. So this is good. You just want to kind of wait, be a little patient, and then see here, yes, then it's you overlooking your crops, right? So this week, it is a time to trust what it is you have cultivated, right? And your turn, your time is going to come where you're going to be able to harvest this. So something good is in the mix, but it might be a little bit out of your hands, and that's why we have that going on. If you can't really make something, prompt it to move forward, you might just have to be a little patient. And remember, we did see temperance coming up too. Temperance is you now nurturing those emotions that you would like to grow. So we got something in action that is definitely going to be showing up here probably over the next week. I think the next week in your reading, we will see where this is going to go and what you have achieved within that week. But this week, just wait for signals, because I think this is something that's outside of your hands. You're waiting for information to come to you. So the next area, which is the 8th house, this has to do with money, not necessarily as an income, your weekly paycheck, monthly paycheck. The 8th house has everything to do with how we save our money, put aside, right? It's our investments, royalties, commissions, and so forth. we have three things coming up here this week. So, number one, if you're thinking about travel, this indicates travel or movement, or since we're talking about funds, maybe it is funds coming in or funds going out, or you just journeying to see what you can do to improve maybe your savings. It looks like there has been a path for a time now where maybe your funds or your savings haven't been really up to par like you would like them. Of course, that can have to do with the situation that we're all in right now. With COVID, maybe you've been tapping into your savings. But this week you're going to be looking into where it's at and maybe how you can get inspired with some new thoughts to step it up, right? There is the death card, and that means there's conclusion, there's transformation. We're not talking physical death, of course, right? But something is coming to an end. Some of you maybe to the end of the pot of your savings. That will transform you to kind of kick into a different gear. For others, it could just mean that you are probably looking into maybe insurances. Of course, it's also tax time. Maybe you're finalizing your taxes, moving through everything that's needed to be done at this time, and then you're just happy that finally I am done, right? So those of you can feel a little bit more relief when it comes to that. So the ninth area of your reading has to do with higher education. It has to do with research, what you're looking into. It is hope and faith, of course, what you're diving into as far as looking to other areas of your chart, maybe preparation, maybe going back to school, taking a course. But whatever that is, look at this. You are a happy camper. You're really excited with whatever new you have just embarked upon or is just about to embark upon. Because what it's doing is setting you up in a new direction. And we'll see where that's taking you. You have the Queen of Cups. Of course, this can signify you. But it is that intuitive side of our nature. She has the ability to see beyond, right? She's very psychic. She's very clairvoyant. She kind of knows where she's heading just with a very intuitive feeling and sense. So that could be you tuning into the water that you have within yourself as you embark upon this journey. Or it could also physically be a person that you are going to be speaking with or collaborating with this week as you embark upon this new research or this new whatever it is that you're starting. And that, my friends, is really going to blow something up in a good way. This is the OMG, oh my God card, right? And, you know, as dramatic as it looks, sometimes it's really good because if you've been waiting and things have just, you know, been under the pressure cooker, something is going to release, you know, and from that, and I'd like to take, I always when I get something like this, I like to take an extra card just to see where that is, what it's going to release. And for you, well, here we go. It is something about something you've been working for or towards that you really want to manifest, okay? So you're still kind of, or you have been in this protection, right? As you've been on this quest. But I'm feeling with whatever is coming to you right now, you could see that it is then being obtained and you are embarking upon this new journey. So new beginnings, totally. We're going to go from here now and look at the area of your career, what you can expect this week, and that is this pile. So, this man is a very supportive type person. He's a happy-go-lucky, very optimistic personality. He says what he thinks, and he definitely is an action-prone person. I feel that he is either going to portray something new for you. Maybe it is a quest, a new project, something that he wants to put in and see if you're open to it. And hey, listen, there could be more money coming in from it as well. So there's two things this week in your career that can really pay off. You know, you're working on this one thing here, but look at that. The second thing could be something that he's offering you. And it's not just putting more work on your desk, but it will also financially benefit you in very many ways. And look at that busy week in your career. So I could see that you're running around and there is a group of people. They're all kind of looking for some kind of solution. And I feel that you're the one. Look at this. You're the one coming with the solution. So if you encounter this, don't lay low. Absolutely. Share your mind and say, what about this? Could this work? So I'm thinking this person is inviting you to do something where you're the key person coming in, helping to solve or to help whatever is been so hectic in that work field. Hopes and dreams, everyone. And let's take a look at your hopes and dreams for the week. You have been holding something and you've kind of felt like something's been out of your control. I think you know what you want. I think you also know what your partner wants, right? But then there's been a third element, and that's kind of been holding you from obtaining the highest dream that you've been holding for quite a while. But look, I think this really ties in with what we saw earlier in the reading, that you were going to get some news, good news, new news that's going to really thrust you into a new cycle. And so the world is for you now opening up your own new world. This is the area of your dreams, right? And it's coming as something else is solving itself. Look at that. I think whatever has been stuck in your dreams from moving forward, because you've always known what you wanted, right? But if circumstances has been holding back for whatever reasons, I feel this is something now this week that can be solved by something now being taken out of that equation. And then next week, you should see where that is going. Next week's going to be super exciting on a couple of these areas. The 12th house is what you hold within your subconsciousness. So what are you, autofocus, come on, focus, there we go. So what you're holding on your subconsciousness is money, new beginnings with money, not just your weekly income, monthly income. No, you're kind of looking at something that really should kick in with a new concept or a new idea, maybe something that really can signify something that for you in the long run can take you through this portal and expand. This is just the beginning of a new journey where this probably idea that you have can really take you to where it is you want to go. So hang on to this. You're still subconsciously or working behind the scenes to get this up and running. So it's not really out there yet. Not yet, but you're on your way. Look at that. You got a pretty good sense of how to get to where it is you're wanting to go. So the concept is already touched upon. So you know what this is, right? So it's not new in the sense that it hasn't come to consciousness yet. You know what it is, and you're still developing it, right? And seeing where it can take you, but you haven't landed yet. But something is cooking, guys. And look at that. You are going to own it. Own it, own it. So if this is, say, a new business or a new concept or a new project, you have vision and there's going to be a lot of growth in this. Trust yourself is what it means, because you know what it's about. Hang on to it. It is in development stages still, but you're crowned and you are blessed with what it is now as far as any new projects that you have set out to do. So listen, I hope you will have a blessed week, and we will see you again next week. Bye now.
Tarot, we are going to be looking at your 36 card reading and what's coming up for you this week in various 12 different areas of your life.